Tonight, for the third time in franchise history, the New Jersey Devils do it. They win Game 7, and they win the 2003 Stanley Cup, shutting out the Mighty Ducks before a wild crowd at the Meadowlands. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bill Ritter.
And I'm Diana Williams, and we begin tonight with a triumph for the New Jersey Devils. Game 7 of the Stanley Cup ending in a 3-0 win over Anaheim's not-so-mighty Ducks. You saw it here on Channel 7 tonight. Devils fans, of course, throughout our area are feeling the thrill of victory tonight. We're going to hear from those fans in just a moment, but first, our Stanley Cup team coverage begins with Scott Clark, and quite a game tonight.
Yes, and the third one in 9 seasons. 3 cups in 9 seasons, that's pretty good. They almost had a 4th. But they are the champions, the Stanley Cup champions. The Anaheim Mighty Ducks took them to the limit, but the Devils reign supreme on top of the hockey world tonight. They packed them in a Land's house tonight. The Devils fans hungry for yet another cup, and they would get it, thanks in large part to Martin Brodeur. He recorded 7 shutouts in the playoffs, had 3 of them during the Stanley Cup finals, including tonight. And how about Jeff Friesen, the former Mighty Duck who was traded to the Devils this year from Anaheim, came up huge, scored 2 goals. Devils go on to the 3-0 victory in Game 7. The Devils, the Stanley Cup champions. Now, we take you live to the Meadowlands. Marvell Scott joins us for the celebration. Marvell.
Well, Scott, we're right near center ice as the Devils have just won their 3rd Stanley Cup title in 9 years. I'm joined by one of the heroes of this Stanley Cup Finals in 2003, forward Jeff Friesen. Jeff, how great of a feeling was it to be able to hoist that cup after a Game 7 victory?
It was unbelievable. I got traded to Jersey, and the first thing I thought of was I might get an opportunity to do that, and then I got to play my former team in the finals. So it's strange how things work out, but what a group of guys. It's unbelievable.
Now, let's face it, you did make it hard on yourselves. Talk about how resilient this team is to win back-to-back series in the 7th game, first in the conference finals and then right here in the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I mean, everyone talked how we couldn't close out Anaheim quicker. That team was unbelievable. They took the defending champions and beat them in 4, and they had a lot of rest. They swept their conference, Western Conference final. This was a heck of a team that we just defeated right here, a team that was well rested, and it took 7 games. Doesn't matter how you do it, it's just the resilience of this hockey team.
All right, congratulations, Jeff Friesen. Enjoy the locker room celebration. That does it for right now. For now, the New Jersey Devils are on top of the hockey world. Once again, we'll be back with locker room celebration later on in sports. For now, live at the Meadowlands, Marvell Scott, ABC 7 Eyewitness News. Back to you.
Okay, Marvell, thank you very much. Isn't it something? A Mighty Duck 1 year, and then he goes and plays the Ducks the next year and wins the Cup against his former mates. Much more coming up during our sports segment, folks.
All right, Scotty, we'll see you in a few minutes.
Thanks, Scott.
Of course, for the Devils fans, tonight's win, making up for the humiliating losses in Games 6 and 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals 2 years ago. The fans tonight simply over the moon for their team. Lucy Yang continues our coverage. She is at the Meadowlands for us. Luce?
Well, Bill, never mind, it is a work night. One enchanted evening out here, worthy of playing hooky tomorrow, a celebrators party late into the night, because if anyone knows, these fans know who rules the ice.
What a game. What a game. Anybody watching from Garfield, New Jersey, this place was the best. We love it. This is Cup number 3 in 9 years. This puts New Jersey on the map. You gotta love it. I love it.
It's crystal clear. Have no fear. Win more cups tonight than the Rangers did in 54 years.
Earlier tonight, as fans got themselves psyched for the showdown, there were the young and the restless, hot dogs and devil dogs, and a roasted duck on a hockey stick.
We will eat him before the game goes on, and he will be enjoyed by many.
After you've been swinging it around the parking lot?
Yes, yes.
No, I love him. I love eating roasted duck.
Dan Patullo vandalized his own vehicle for the occasion.
I wish there were more fans like me so that they'd get some noise in the arena.
Hitting fast, hitting hard, skating fast.
JJ DeAngelis bought his tickets on eBay and considers himself a lucky devil, paying $275 for a $100 seat instead of the scalper's going rate of $1,500.
I stood in front of the computer all day and used eBay to watch, and I was doing the auctions, and once I got to a certain point, I just did the buy now.
College student Mindy Drexel doesn't have that kind of cash, but she does
does have youth and time on her hands, getting here at 3 a.m. to be first online for any extra tickets at the box office.
If you're a diehard fan, you got to be crazy sometimes. I love it. Go Devils!
No matter these fans didn't have tickets, have generator and TV, we'll watch from the parking lot.
We're just diehard sports fans.
Big fat silver cup, guaranteed 2003 Stanley Cup champions. Woo!
Can we guess what the headlines are going to read tomorrow, folks? These fans waited through 7 nail-biting games to get to these bragging rights. And brag they will. We're live at the Meadowlands tonight. Lucy Yang, ABC 7, Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Lucy. Scott, of course, will have more on the Devils' win later in sports, and we are waiting for word on when and what kind of celebration will be planned for the team's Stanley Cup championship. Their third. We'll bring you details as soon as they're available.
In other news tonight,
the victory tonight especially sweet.
A dynamic team of the decades. They could have had four, one win away from having four of them. 2 years ago, the New Jersey Devils blew a 3-2 series lead and lost the cup to the Colorado Avalanche. They didn't want that to happen again. The Devils have beaten the Anaheim Mighty Ducks 3-0 in Game 7 for the Stanley Cup. Before the game, the coveted and concealed Stanley Cup brought into a packed house of both the Devils and the Nets, vying to be the House of Champions. They're halfway home. The Ducks on a power play late in the first. Patrick Elias caught them pinching. Breakaway on Jean-Sebastien Giguère. Dekes this way and that. Tried the backhander. No. Stuffed. After a scoreless period, way back the blue line, Scott Niedermayer sent it in, deflected by Mike Rupp past Giguère. The Devils had the lead, 1-0. It's touch to catch them when they have it. Here come the Mighty Ducks in the attack. They had a couple of good chances. Martin Brodeur up to the task each time, so it remained 1-0. So later in the second period, Niedermayer sends another shot from the blue line. Watching the left. Jeff Friesen sends a rebound home. Devils had a 2-0 lead after 2, and they were polishing up the cup for its suitable recipient. The Devils. The clock winds down. They celebrate the cup, their third in 9 seasons. The Conn Smythe Trophy for most valuable player goes to the Mighty Ducks goalie, Jean-Sebastien Giguère. But I'll tell you what, they'd rather have that hardware right there. And Scott Stevens, Brodeur, and everyone has that. The cup. Marvell Scott, live at the Meadowlands with more right now. Marvell.
Well, Scott, I'm live outside the locker room, and they have already begun to break out the bubbly. I'll have to pay for a dry cleaning bill. That'll be pretty hefty sometime soon, but hey, it's worth it. The Devils totally dominated on the ice tonight, locking up their third shutout in this year's Stanley Cup Finals. This is a time for celebration. We take you to the locker room. There you have it. Players drinking from the Stanley Cup. It'll belong to them for the next year. Afterwards, I caught up with players, and here's what they had to say about being on top of the hockey world again.
It's unbelievable. This team's worked so hard. This organization's awesome, and just proud of everybody. We found a way to win all year, and we did it once again the last game of the year.
It's an unbelievable feeling. You know, it's fortunate to be my second time, but this time's even better.
Well, showed a lot of character. I think we've been great in all my solid. We showed it again. You know, we took a lot of pride all year to do that, and it paid off.
Well, there you have it. The Devils, Stanley Cup champions for the 2002-2003 season. 3 titles now in 9 years, and all players agree, winning never gets old. We're live outside the Devils locker room at the Meadowlands. Marvell Scott, ABC 7 Eyewitness News. Scott, to the victor goes the sports.
All right. Thank you very much, Marvell Scott. Well, now about the